Item Number SCP-2241 Object Class Euclid Special Containment Procedures SCP-2241 is to be kept in a standard humanoid containment cell. SCP-2241 is to be allowed access to television and comic and may be denied access to said items as punishment if required. SCP-2241 maintains a normal human diet, but should be given additional food post-testing if requested. As SCP-2241's cooperation is considered essential to long-term containment, personnel are to call SCP-2241 by its given name, Cameron, when speaking to or nearby it. In order to facilitate research, personnel other than the assigned psychologist and those specifically designated may not become friendly with SCP-2241. If personnel suspect that SCP-2241 is beginning to develop a rapport with them, they are required to deter this. Description: SCP-2241 is a 7-year-old brown-haired male humanoid, which has a minor telekinetic ability and is showing signs of a latent reality-bending ability. See below. SCP-2241 is to be led to believe that the Foundation maintains custody of him for his protection, and so that they can learn to understand his powers and use them to develop more superheroes. More specifically, SCP-2241 shows the ability to manipulate objects it can see, which are within approximately 6 meters of it. In addition to this, manipulated objects may teleport or be changed slightly, implying a more general reality-bending ability. SCP-2241 is considered a good candidate for long-term intensive research into telekinesis and reality bending specifically, and anomalous humanoids generally. Currently, the leading theory among Foundation researchers is that anomalous humanoids of this type develop stronger or additional anomalous abilities as they age, with the possibility of developing into full-scale reality benders increased by emotional stress. As such, it is considered essential to long-term containment and research that SCP-2241 believes he is working with the Foundation. Forward. Interview between researcher and SCP-2241. Valdez is to attempt to clarify details of the anomalous incident during which SCP-2241 was contained, apparently while stopping a kidnapping, to establish a rapport with SCP-2241 and to make recommendations for research. Begin log. Valdez: Cameron, can you tell me what was happening when the fire team found you? SCP-2241: Fire team? You mean the soldier guys? Valdez: That's right. SCP-2241: I was trying to help that lady. Valdez: Why were you helping her? SCP-2241: She looked scared. The bad guy had a gun. She was trying to run away. Someone had to help her. Valdez: But why did you have to help her? Why not run and call the police? SCP-2241: Superheroes have to help people. I can move things without touching them, and other people can't, so I should use that to help them. Valdez: That's very good of you, Cameron. Have you helped anyone else like this? SCP-2241: No. I've only ever practiced in the woods and stuff. Valdez: Has anyone ever caught you practicing? SCP-2241: I don't think so. I tried to keep it secret, but sometimes people go for walks in the woods, and they might have saw me, but I don't think so. Valdez: Okay, that's good. What kinds of things can you do? SCP-2241: I can move stuff without touching it, but not if it's too far away or if it's too big. Only like a cup across a room or a person's arm or something. Sometimes it can sort of change as well. Valdez: What do you mean by it can change, Cameron? SCP-2241. Sometimes when I'm moving something, it changes to something I want. Like one time when I was moving a stone, it changed to look like a toy I lost. But it changed back after a while, before I even got home. Valdez. Have you ever changed something on purpose? SCP-2241. Not really. Sometimes when I hear my parents yelling, I wish they'd stop and they'd get distracted for a little bit, but they usually go back to arguing. SCP-2241 becomes visibly upset. Valdez. Do your parents fight often? SCP-2241. No, not really. They don't mean to be angry. Valdez. Do they ever get angry at you? SCP-2241. Sometimes. Daddy says it's my fault. I should just try harder. Mommy gets mad when my room is messy, but I try to keep it clean. I don't want her to be mad. Sounds of SCP-2241 sniffling. Valdez. It's okay, Cameron. You're okay here. SCP-2241. Thank you. Valdez. You know that ordinary people wouldn't understand about these powers, and that some other people with powers might try to hurt you. SCP-2241. Yeah, heroes have to have a secret identity. Valdez. Do you have a superhero name to protect your identity picked out? SCP-2241. I'm Cameron, the Cruth Crusader. Valdez. That's a cool name, Cameron. Because of this danger, you're going to be staying here with the Scpfoundation for a while. Do you have any questions? SCP-2241. What does SCP mean, mister? Valdez. It means secure, contain, protect. SCP-2241. So it fights bad guys? Like S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Avengers? Valdez. That's right, Cameron, like the Avengers. End log. Researcher Valdez's closing statement. SCP-2241 appears to trust me and believe that the Foundation is attempting to help him as much as possible. SCP-2241's account is consistent with the early stages of a humanoid developing a reality-bending ability. SCP-2241 may have experienced abuse at the hands of his parents, leading to early development of said ability. In the event that more developed ability is required for research, similar emotional stress can be applied by Foundation staff. Addendum 2241-01. Following initial testing, it seems that only a more developed ability will yield new data. Standard emotional manipulation and gaslighting techniques have had no effect thus far, allowing a D-Class to believe that he has a valuable hostage in SCP-2241, and a chance to escape may provide the required emotional stimulus. Addendum 2241-02. During the hostage situation test, it became clear that SCP-2241 retains an aversion to violence it considers unnecessary. This is undesirable for testing purposes, placing SCP-2241 in more direct and obvious danger following a violent incident may push it to use its abilities further. During this test, SCP-2241 showed direct control over changing the composition of a manipulated object. In this case, it was able to change a knife into a piece of chocolate. Researcher Valdez hypothesized that SCP-2241 was hungry during the event. Since the main testing event, it has shown semi-consistent use of this object transformation ability, with a slightly extended range for telekinetic abilities. Addendum 224103. Overridden by 053 upon receipt of full analysis, the data we are receiving has been judged to be worth the danger, and SCP-2241 remains under the illusion that it is working with the Foundation. Testing will go ahead as planned. SCP-2241 has stated that it intends to grow stronger to stop more people from dying, and this will help both it and us in this aim. Killing a man with a teleported bullet was a stroke of tactical genius from the SCP object. MTF Theta 17 will be ready to respond during all further rounds of testing as a precaution. 053. Addendum 224104. Following recent rounds of 05 approved rapid-fire testing with added emotional risk, innocent bystanders, and risk to SCP-2241's personal belongings, SCP-2241 has developed many further abilities consistent with reports of late-stage telekinetic reality benders. SCP-2241 can now consistently teleport matter and itself, act upon information from apparently several seconds in the future, and move or transform matter within 12 meters without directly viewing it. High-Threado unrecorded abilities, such as self-duplication, are also present. SCP-2241 has also shown good control over its abilities, expressing excitement about leveling up, the desire to learn more soon and to better help the Foundation. Neurological and physiological monitoring during certain tests has brought some insight into the development of such abilities. Specific areas of the brain have been identified as key to anomalous perception and control, as described in Document 2241 Neuro 23. Demonstrative sample of tests. The Ethics Committee formally recommends that testing be ceased while SCP-2241 receives treatment for severe emotional problems and personnel are investigated. Overridden by 053. Testing will go ahead as scheduled. Treatment of known problems will commence immediately afterward. Previous testing was approved with 05 clearance. Addendum 224105. Testing cancelled by Ethics Committee following routine review. Researcher Valdez under investigation. Security clearance temporarily revoked. Implementing a monitoring chip into a child this young cannot be done without significant developmental damage in later years. This will cause catastrophic problems for both the child and long-term containment, given his well-developed capabilities. Additionally, employing a child in combat, even under testing conditions, violates all moral norms. Personnel involved in sweeping the previous rapid-fire test under the rug are under review. Ethics Committee, ID EC12A51. Testing reinstated by order of 053. Research of Valdez clearance restored. These tests are more important than one SCP, regardless of whether it looks like a child. Long-term containment and observation is no longer a priority, given the utility of data we have collected via intensive testing in the short term. The risk of the SCP breaching containment is minimal, given its loyalty. We now know which parts of the brain deal with certain anomalous abilities. With more detail, we can see how. We may even learn how to induce these abilities, and we will definitely learn how to neutralize them. 053. Testing cancelled by 054 and 057. Following investigation of researcher complaints, Researcher Valdez held by security personnel pending council meeting. This is too far. We cannot let this stand as precedent. This is but one step removed from child soldiers and even less removed from militarizing an SCP-level object. 054. Testing reinstated by majority overseer vote following emergency council meeting. Researcher Valdez exonerated. Testing will go ahead at the end of the week, assuming no complications. I believe the results will justify both the risk and the means. We are closer than ever to understanding the mechanism by which human brains interact with extra-normal phenomenon. The emotional and eventual neurological damage to SCP-2241 is unfortunate, but it is also necessary for the advancement of our understanding. In addition to the new modification of the monitoring hardware, 2241 can be neutralized quickly should it become a threat at any time after the surgery. Researcher Valdez.